Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the December 2020 forecast for life path number 8. So, eights. So, December is what we call a 7 universal energetic month. And so, what that means is collectively, we could be feeling the need this month to seek the answers to the bigger questions. So we might be seeing that sort of intrigue come in about what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of my life? There could be this call to really go within and go without. So go within to see what is my truth and how does my truth relate to the truths of the physical plane, of the information that's coming into me, of the truths and beliefs of others, and how can I integrate my beliefs, my truths with those of others. There may be this call to go above and below. So again, finding that reconnection to spirit, finding that reconnection to your higher consciousness, and then taking those insights, those inspirations, and finding a way to create something in the physical from that inspiration, right? And to become the bridge between the two. So a lot of that you may be feeling that intensity this month. And then also there's this energy of the need for rest, for introspection, stillness, and solitude. So where November was this energy really focused around family and community, now the 7 energy brings in this need for sort of independence, individuality, again, time alone to reconnect with self, and rest. So if you are somebody who is constantly in action mode, then this is your call to find that balance and incorporate the stillness. And you may be feeling that quite a bit this month. So the call would be to, of course, honor your body and anything that comes up for you. But to also, again, if you're somebody who is constantly surrounded by people, then this is a call to make sure you set some time aside to have that inner sanctuary, that time for yourself, okay? Relationships are going to come into the focus quite a bit this month for many. That 7 energy really highlights relationships. So pay attention to the relationships that come up for you. This doesn't have to be a physical relationship. This can be the energy of a relationship coming in as well. So if there's somebody that you're thinking about or that their energy is constantly coming in for you, there's something there to be healed, to be looked at, to be further investigated. 7 energy is that investigative energy. They want to find the truth. They want to find their own truth and then find ways to incorporate that truth into their reality. So pay attention to the physical and non-physical energies that come in for you this month around relationships. Our relationships are what teaches us how to trust or how to, not trust others, and then work related around that. Our relationships are often our greatest teachers in this lifetime to help us to grow and expand and change directions if we need to. Oftentimes, other people, other relationships will trigger us and trigger things within us that will highlight what needs to be healed. So again, pay attention to that. It's through our relationships that we often find a lot of our most joy. So again, that could be coming in for you as well this month. So again, and remember, relationships don't always have to be about other people. It can be about your relationship to self. So that could also be highlighted this month as well. So pay attention to that. 7 energy is all about specialization, about, really focusing your energy on what it is that you want to accomplish and then going full force ahead on that, right? So it's, again, becoming a master or the expert at something and not scattering your energy. So it's really bringing that energy back and figuring out the top things that you want to focus that energy on and then focus the energy on that. This is a great time to go back to school, to take extra courses, to learn another language, to, accelerate your skill sets when it comes to your innate gifts or, your career. This is a great time for spiritual growth and personal growth. So if something comes in and it sparks your imagination or it sparks your interest and it has to do with furthering your knowledge or your wisdom, then this is a great time to take advantage of that. Okay, so I pulled an animal spirit card to see what the overall energy for 8s would be for December. And you guys got owl spirit. And owl says your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now. So pay close attention to signs and omens from them. And I actually love that because 7 energy is the bridge between the mystical and the physical. And so this is a great time for your spirit guides to come through, for your higher consciousness to come through, for your ancestors to come through, to offer you guidance and insights, as well as clarity. So that can come through in your dreams. It can come through messages from other people. Remember, relationships. It can come through in song, in something you read. So, they'll get in touch with you however they can get in touch with you. So pay attention to that. You can find a feather on your, if you're going for a walk, pay attention to the little things that seem very synchronistic, because a lot of times that's how they'll get through reoccurring numbers. So again, pay attention to all those little mystical things that come in for you this month, because again, you guys have owl spirit, which is about ancestry coming through and seeing things clearly and seeing through the illusions and the darkness. So okay, so I broke down December into 4 weeks, and the very first week of December, it's interesting. Speaking about relationships, there's this energy coming in. Of course, this is a general reading, so it's going to come in a variety of ways, but there's this energy of relationships coming in, and it has to do with healing a relationship or a reunion of a relationship. And so for some of you, this could be a new relationship if you're looking for one. And sometimes even if you're not looking for one, they often will find you. So for some of you, it could be a new relationship. But for a lot of you, I'm feeling like this is an older relationship that's coming in, because there's also this energy around feeling like you've just been like kind of not burdened by the relationship, but just kind of beat down by it. Like you keep showing up for it and it didn't work, or it isn't working, but there's more work to be done here. So it's kind of like you feel a little defeated in this relationship, but there's more to the story here. And so this energy is around really healing whatever this is, like really diving deep and healing whatever this is around this particular relationship that keeps coming in for you. And that doesn't have to be with the physical person. I want to make that really clear. It can be energetically as well. So if something is continuing to come up for you, if you feel a pull towards this person or these people, but you also feel sort of defeated when it comes to it, or like, I just can't do this anymore, that kind of energy, it's interesting because there's just this call to really heal whatever this is. Now, remember, this can be the relationship with yourself. This can be the divine masculine, divine feminine from within, and feeling like you've gone through maybe a lot of healing and a lot of trials and tribulations with this work. And there's just this call to, you're almost there, keep going, it's going to be worth it type thing. So if it has to do with another person, then the call is to, again, even if it has to be simply energetically, I say simply, energetically is huge. Even if it has to be energetically that you heal this relationship, that the call is to do that. So again, however you can release that person and those actions, not saying that you are okay with whatever happened, but there's a way to release that person and that energy so that it no longer holds you back, okay? So that it's no longer beating you up. So it's no longer holding you back, okay? So however this comes in for you, but again, it feels like it's very, it's very supported. It's coming in for a reason. So it needs to be looked at. Okay, so if you keep thinking about this person or something keeps coming up and you keep pushing it down, like, I wish I could stop thinking about this person, it's actually a call to take a closer look at it, because there's something that still needs to be healed around this. And it's going to be something that you may have to do on your own, but it's forgiving and releasing that energy, okay? And that person, okay? So, but then again, I do want to mention this could be a new relationship for some of you coming in. But as I say that, it's interesting because if it is a new relationship coming in at this time, for some of you, it feels like it may be karmic. It feels like it might be a little bit of a challenging relationship. But remember, our relationships with others are often our greatest teachers. So keep that in mind. As we move into the second week of December, we have this interesting of sort of being caught up in your emotions quite a bit, which would make sense given what I just said about the first week of December. But the second week of December has you kind of really, and it could be about you really being in touch with your emotions and really just diving deep into those and really feeling through whatever comes up for you. But it's interesting because there's this change of direction or this communication that comes in for you this second week that gives you sort of insight so that you can make a redirect or a reroute in a way. So it's kind of like this change coming in for you that feels very, very stable and secure, that's bringing you emotional fulfillment. So I don't know how that's going to come in for you, but it's this energy of some truth coming in quite abruptly, some clarity coming in, and a change of direction from that clarity, from that insight. It could also be somebody reaching out to you. So again, with it being that 7 energy, with the focus being on relationships, it could be that somebody from your past who you have an emotional tie with comes in significantly for you this week, and some truth is highlighted, some insight and clarity is provided, and that brings you emotional fulfillment. But it's also this call to be in control of those emotions from whatever this truth is, right? So like the truth comes in, it might be a little shocking, it might be a little bit unexpected. And so the call is, how will you respond to that? Will you react, or will you respond in a way that is more aligned with your highest expression, right? So, or will you just react and say things that you may regret later? So again, feels very relationship driven. Feels like it's interesting. I'm almost getting like this could be around family. But again, it could be also career or romantic relationships, etc. But yeah, so it's kind of like this clarity is coming in for you. This truth is coming in that you can't really deny, and it's shedding light on some information. It does feel like it's coming from the past. So it's kind of like it's a relationship from the past, or again, like a family relationship that you obviously have past ties with. But it's something being highlighted for you. And the call is, how are you going to sort of react or respond to the situation? So interesting. Okay, and then we move into the third week of December. And now we move into more the physical, like material aspects, and it feels kind of around money. And there's this energy of laying to rest any of those, or starting the process, because I know it's a process, but laying to rest any sort of friction or uncomfortableness you have around receiving. So it's this opportunity to, interesting because they just kind of tied it in with the ancestors. So it's kind of like you may be receiving, okay, I'm all over the place here, but this feels like it could be something coming in that's from the ancestral line that has to do with money or shame around money or feelings of lack, or, which is very possible with 8 energy. So, but it's something that has almost been handed down from generation to generation around money. And so it's like something will come up for you potentially or a message coming from your ancestors that will be sort of the breaking point that you need to overcome this ancestral trauma, I guess, right? Around money. It's very specific around receiving. Not so much about giving, but it's also about receiving. Now, if you have a problem or any kind of mindset around giving, then, obviously tie that in however you can. But this feels very, very specific around receiving, and any shame that you have around receiving, any sort of misgivings that you have around receiving, any toxic mindsets. But it's very specific. They're very much tying in the ancestral line with this energy of money and receiving, and that there will be an opportunity for you to sort of lay down that energy and break free from it in some way. That will, of course, take energy on your part, but there is an opportunity to do that. And so I don't know how this is going to come out for you. Obviously, this is a general reading, but yeah, it seems almost like because this is a 7 universal month, it probably will have to do with relationships. So something may come up around your relationships that has to do with money, and it will have an opportunity for you to sort of have that aha moment that allows you to start the process of breaking free or breaking those ancestral chains that bind you, that sort of ancestral trauma, okay? So that whatever you can clear in your lineage that has to do around money or shame around money or receiving. Receiving is really big. It keeps coming in. So however that comes in for you, but yeah, interesting. Then we move into the last week of December, and it's interesting. It's like you're really standing in your power this month. You're really like, you're getting major clarity from the universe for movement forward, for your own identity. This feels very like individualistic, so very much identity driven this last week, which is very powerful. It's kind of like, again, that 8 energy of reclaiming your power over anyone who has had power over you. It's like you have an opportunity, or you gain clarity on how to take some of that power back. And so it is, of course, what you do with that. But it's interesting because they're also tying this in with this idea of the need for forgiveness and the need for releasing any toxicity, whether that is from past relationships or even through the ancestral line. So you may want to work with a shaman to do this, a healer to do this. You may call on your guides to help you do this, call on your ancestors to help you do this, but be open and aware of the messages that come in for you, because they will hold the answers and the keys to help you move through that. But it is this energy of sort of like really just saying enough is enough, and standing in your power, and understanding that in order to fully do that, you have to move through the steps of forgiveness around anyone that has, mistreated you or done anything that has taken your power away. And again, this can be energetically. This doesn't have to be with a physical person, but there is like this very strong message where it's like any opportunity you have this month to release any of that toxicity, to forgive any of those actions. You don't have to agree with the actions, but you can forgive the actions and move on from them and not allow them to continue to hold you back. Because remember, the person who had power over you at some point does not necessarily have physical power over you at this moment. It's now energetic power that they have over you, right? If you're constantly in anger or frustration or resentment or whatever negative low vibe feelings coming up around this person that is a energetic binding that they have on you, not intentionally, but it's something that you're continuing to allow to occur. So in order to release that, you have to do the work, the shadow work, to release it. And so once you can do that or start the process, then you are reclaiming your power back from that person, back from that energy. Okay. So again, if something happened to you 10 years ago and you're still holding on to that, and that's still a big trigger for you, there's a really big call to reclaim your power over that situation, because even though the physical part of it is over, the energetic part of it is still occurring if it's still holding you back. Okay. So however, works for you to be able to work through that, but there is this energy of an opportunity to start that work, or to really break free from that energy and to reclaim your power in a big way. So Interesting energies for December for eights. This feels honestly like a lot of internal work. It feels like kind of like this big final purge. I know it's not final because we're constantly healing and moving through things throughout our lifetimes, but it really feels like an opportunity to really purge some things that have been weighing heavily on you for quite some time. And you can do that through the help of your ancestors if you are open to receiving their help. So, really powerful energy for eights in December, but the potential for a lot of growth, a lot of transformation that is going to really serve you well as we shift into the new energy of 2021. So, I hope that December comes in gently for you, but transformatively. And I do hope that, whatever holidays you celebrate, I hope that they're merry and joyous and bring you many blessings. Until we meet again, take care for now.